You are tuned in to the New Old Heads podcast, premiered every Thursday at noon at bringingdowntheband.com and brought to you by No Bad Ideas, Coleman Dental, and Printfinity. Support the New Old Heads by visiting our Patreon at patreon.com/newoldheads.
Episode 65 of the New Old Heads podcast. I am Major 7th. I make beats. I have the hard drive to prove it, and I do want that smoke. And directly in front of me is the maestro, the one and only Lonegevity.
Hello. Hello.
You sound like Jigsaw.
Hello.
There you go. There you are.
Hello.
You want to play a game?
Do you want to play a game with me?
Speaking of that, I see you over there working the screen.
I don't know. What do you guys want to do today?
Oh, no, man.
Anything specific?
Oh, no. Let me finish these introductions and we'll get to it. Diagonal, as always. No Bad Ideas. Fresh to Death, as always. DJ Jay Diff.
Salutations, man.
What's going on, man? You all right?
Chilling.
Good. You all right, man? You all right?
I'm good.
We ain't going to beef today, are we?
I mean,
yeah. I know what that means.
It's too early in the episode to know. I can't
We'll talk
call
about it
it
later. We'll talk about it later. Fair enough.
All right.
Filling in for DJ Spoolz, who is under the weather. Get well, my friend. Get well. You know, at this point, he's just a new old head at this point. We're not going to say, pinch hit or anything like that. He's a new old head at this point.
He got to pour his own drink when he come over.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I have no problem with that.
Mr. Wavy, light-skinned girls be loving me now.
Here you go.
You know what I'm saying? They seem to flock to this brother. You might see him. Well, I'm not going to say what. You'll see him. 9 times out of 10, you're going to see him. You're going to run into him. Shout out to Coach's metronome. The incomparable Jay Moore is in the building.
What's going on, fellas?
That's interesting.
He is, man. I'm sorry, Spoolz, but he's the incomparable as well. How are you, man?
I'm doing well, man. I'm glad it warmed up a little bit out here. And when I say warm, it's 35 degrees.
Yes, sir.
So that's warm for Indianapolis right now, but I'll take it compared to that -8 we were dealing with.
I had some foolishness in where I work at, and I heard some young lady saying, "Girl, it's so hot outside now." I'm like, no, it's not hot outside.
Who said that?
It's just been that cold.
Yes.
Man, it's so hot outside. I feel great. No, that's, as my mom would say, that's that pneumonia weather. You know what I'm saying? The change on
There's that work with flip-flops on.
Man.
It's just
already.
This is not so cold that it's burning the tips of your fingers with the cold. That's what we're not
It's
dealing
definitely
with right
still
now.
about 34, 35 degrees outside right now. So get your mind right out there on that foolishness being, dressed wrong, if you will. Episode 65, we had Jay Diff doing some research. I think we were going to go with the anniversary of 1960. I think it was Muhammad Ali. He knocked out Sonny Liston and who am I missing? You just told me. Floyd Patterson.
Yeah.
In that year. So, I mean,
he
Ali's
beat
the
up on
greatest.
Floyd Patterson because Floyd Patterson would acknowledge him under Muhammad Ali.
Mm-hmm.
And he
So
continuously
he kept
asked
hitting
him,
in the
"What's my
face.
Say
name?
my name.
Yeah,
Say
so
my name."
It
Yeah.
got real.
Yeah.
It got real.
Shout out to Muhammad Ali, man. He's the greatest. Yes, sir. Episode
greatest.
65. Let's go ahead and jump into the rundown. On a more somber note, Fredo Santana, shout out to Chicago, 27 years old, passed away. I think it was between a seizure and kidney failure, if I'm not mistaken. I know they say he was heavy on the lean and drugs. You know how that culture is.
Well, what it was he actually had quit, but it was too late.
It was too late.
By the time he quit, I mean, if you mess your body up to that level,
right,
and then you're like, well, I'm going to quit. I'm going to try to do better.
Right.
Your body doesn't necessarily recover, unfortunately. So
right,
he succumbed to those habits, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man, for him
27
to be 27
years
years old.
And I saw
That's way too young.
Yeah.
I saw some of his contemporaries, if you will, who had the lean. They're pouring it out on the ground and saying, "We're done with this," and which I'll take it as
that's
a nice
dope.
gesture.
I'll take it,
but
yeah.
at the same time, it wasn't that long ago that Little Peep passed away basically from this, and the thing is, this. I mean, we always like to put it on the new generation of rappers, but DJ Screw and Pimp C should still be here with us if it were not for this. So somewhere along the line, I just think people have to learn. I mean, it's really hard to deal with when you're talking about substance abuse.
Sure.
Because, there's somebody, I don't know who these people are who think, oh, I'll be able to handle my lean.
Yeah.
Or I'll be able to handle, my heroin. I don't know how there are people starting to try heroin.
Yeah, it's crazy.
In 2018, but apparently it still happens. So if we're still dealing with that, like I said, it's a nice gesture that I see. Some of the younger artists, they're pouring out their lean and say we're not going to glorify this anymore, if you will.
Right.
But at the same time, if we still have people dealing with heroin addiction in 2018, I don't feel like this is just going to be an entire wake up call for the culture.
I think the misconception also is within the rap culture and the hip hop culture. A lot of times we say, it's entertainment. So some of these people out here, you get Future that says, well, I don't really do this. I'm just promoting it, to sell records. But sometimes we think about it's a part of the culture to be entertainment, and some of these people aren't doing it. But there are people that actually are getting. Sorry, go ahead, man. You want it?
Nah, we'll just keep it moving.
Okay, the bell was on me on that one. But there are people that are actually being addicted to this stuff as well. So it's both sides. So
yeah,
it's unfortunate.
ASAP Yams, I think, passed away from that as well.
There you have it. So,
yeah. So I mean, it's man, we talk about the different cultures of hip hop. When we talk about, okay, well, our era, we might have talked about smoking weed and Hennessy, and that was the thing.
Yeah.
And with these young boys, but what people do behind the scenes is always a little bit different. Like, of course, I haven't heard any crazy cocaine raps as far as not using, selling, of course.
Sure.
That's always been a thing. Or not, I'm not going to say always been a thing. But trust and believe, once some of these people get out there and they get to live in a little Hollywood, cocaine is a part of the equation. You even heard a little bit of people talking about X pills and stuff on these rap songs. So, I mean, I know we like to get on. I think we get on them because it's an easy target for us to say, oh, these young boys, they just talk up these. It's drug user.
Yeah.
Culture. And it's an easy way for us to get on some of the young cats. And, of course, we're the new old heads, so sometimes we have to get on the new cats.
Sure.
But at the same time, like, let's not act like it hasn't been something it may not have been on Front Street.
I agree.
I mean, there was a rapper who actually made, I mean, of course, I'm glad this didn't catch on. He actually made like a pro crack song back in like 84.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah, we ain't
gonna
even
crack it up. Crack it up. Like somebody listening knows what I'm talking about.
We ain't gonna go down that road.
And luckily he's the only one that made a pro crack, like we in here partying. But everybody
get him the hell out of here.
All our old school rappers who had the last name Ski.
Yeah.
You understand what that is.
Yes, sir.
That was
𝐊𝐿.
exactly. That was about cocaine life. So let's not act like, these self-destructive behaviors are something that are just really destroying the artistry of these new rappers. Now, so rest in peace to the young man. Like, saying I don't want to see anybody succumb to this sort of thing. So if anybody can learn a lesson, please learn a lesson and leave that stuff alone. Because at the end of the day, you got to understand all that lean, it really is just a version of heroin.
Yes, sir.
And, if you saw one of your homeboys doing heroin, it's not like you'd be like, oh, let's write some songs about how fly that is. So let's just put it in that category.
Not at all.
Fair enough. So rest in peace to that young man, and condolences to his family. Jay Moore, you brought this to my attention. I was not aware, but you said 45 was out here acting up in the streets again. Now I missed this one. Normally I try to watch CNN. I try to stay abreast of what's going on, but I clearly missed this one. So, what was your boy on?
All right, so 45.
Yes.
Apparently is I don't want to say he's even caught up because this is something that when he said during the campaign I could shoot somebody in the middle of the street and no one would care. Honestly, the people who really support him, they don't care about this. Now he's got caught up basically while his wife Melania was at home with their new baby.
Yes.
He was out cavorting, if you will, with
I like that.
Adult film actress. Stormy Danials, I believe is the name.
Okay.
I'm not really up on that game, so I don't.
Someone
may have to correct me on that.
Let me ask you this: did she get a bag?
To the tune of $130,000.
Wow.
Let's see, they'd set up an LLC, so they could. So
gotta make it legit.
Damn.
I mean, they really did. So and what's really something is that there was a certain news organization, I believe. We would call them Fox, who had this information and decided this isn't a story we're going to run with.
The Sly Fox.
So when you talk about fake news, and this is not fake news, because of course everyone can't keep their mouths shut, and it's when there's a paper trail, and
literally.
So, but the thing is, considering everything else is going on, this is not even. If this had been, I'll say either. President Obama or President Bush 43.
Yeah.
This would have been a huge story. But considering everything else that surrounds this particular president, this is just like, we kind of expect this sort of thing from him.
Yes,
Are
sir.
we surprised? Like, we'd be surprised if it was George W. Bush who was hanging out with porn stars.
The shock value is gone now. Now it's
the shock value is gone. So
now it's like, this is just a part of the presidency at this point.
I will say he was actually being quite prophetic when he said, I could do anything and people would still support and vote for me. And it all goes back to when we talked about Roy Moore.
Yes, sir.
And then when it goes back to Roy Moore, it makes me think about the women's marches. I know we're getting off on a tangent, but I'm not sure if you guys peeped that this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty
of picketers.
Out there. People want to say, "Oh, this is a movement," but at the same time, there was those women's marches last year, and 64% of women in Alabama still voted for Roy Moore.
Right.
So, we'll see if this thing really sticks. It's nice for optics, but once again, a lot of those women who were out there maybe regretting their vote, they got caught up in the moment. A lot of those women voted for 45.
I want to come to Lone on this one. Lone, give me your 2 cents on 45 being out here in these streets and setting up the LLC, because that's brilliant.
That's putting it nicely.
Yeah. Well, the hilarious part is the fact that he's got a business for. It is what it is. It's usual. So it's not surprising. Every time
that's sad that we have to say that, but he's so right though. He's right.
Every time we come back, every week we sit down beforehand. It's like, all right, so what is the new Trump news? Because it normally happens between Wednesday and Friday.
Enough for us to catch it every
We've been
single
doing
time.
this enough episodes that we know that between Wednesday and Friday, there's something. It is. There really is a pattern. Every Wednesday or Friday, there's something new that pops up.
That's a fact.
Because it's normally right after we do the show, but before we release it. And so it's like, oh, this just came out. I wish we would have had it to talk about. Kind of. Not really. Not really. He absolutely did it.
Yeah.
Just look at him. Just look at him.
But you know what? Is anybody surprised? Like,
I'm not.
I don't think anyone at this point on either side of the aisle is clutching their pearls. Like, I can't believe Donald Trump would pay a porn star $130,000.
Jay Diff, 2 cents. Or are you not even shocked? You already know what it is.
Kanye West has a song called 2 Words.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Fair enough. We're gonna go ahead and keep it moving on that note. Yeah. We're gonna keep it moving on that note. Terry, you brought this not to my attention, but you mentioned it before we got convened back together about Monique. Now here's my thing. They offered Monique, who is trying to boycott Netflix, which we've all either watched or are still taking a part of and watching. Yeah,
because I'm not participating in that boycott.
So check this out. Monique, if you guys weren't aware, which you probably are, they offered her $500,000 for a comedy special. Mm-hmm. Now she drew the comparisons to Amy Schumer, who's, when you think about Monique, her resume pretty much, she has a solid resume. You can't front on her and be like, oh, she's just somebody that's trying to get cheese.
We're going to talk about that too.
So, but she does have a resume though. Yeah, she's got that.
What type of resume does she have?
She's won an Oscar. She's been a comedian since.
Keep going with what you were saying.
We'll get back to that. But Amy Schumer has been somewhat of a, I think she worded it when she was on Sway, like wanderer. Like she's been here or there. Like Monique was popping when she was still trying to get on. So she's like, well, Schumer got $11 million. I'm not going to even quote the prices for Chappelle and Chris Rock because you're not that. Like, let's make 20. Sure we understand
that.
They
got 20.
They got 20 G's? All right.
Something like that.
At least.
So we're not going to compare you to those because you guys are not in the same ballpark. I understand that. But with the Amy Schumer, when she broke it down on Sway, I was like, I might see where she's coming from. You sound like you already ready to go.
Oh, trust me.
Man,
You know what I'm saying? I'm coming to Jay Diff first, and I'm jumping in with you, Jay Moore. What's up, man? Because you sound like you.
So much I
don't
can
do
say
this,
about
man.
this.
Don't
man.
do this, man. Are you about to front on
so
Monique, man?
Much. It's not even about fronting. It's about keeping it real.
So you think she's not worth? You think she's worth 500 G's for a special?
Listen,
All right, I'm listening.
there's comedians out there foaming at the mouth for that $500,000
Do they have
comedy special.
Do they have Monique's resume?
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
What is the last comedy show or special you seen Monique do?
I mean, I don't
What is the last movie you seen Monique do?
She had to have been in 3 or 4 Tyler Perry movies.
When?
She had
I don't watch Tyler Perry movies.
No, she had a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
What's it on Lifetime?
Don't do that, man.
No. It was in the movie theater.
Thank you.
Gabrielle Union was in it. I believe
Okay, I
Danny
think I
Glover.
remember
She was.
that.
What's the name of that joint?
Home for the Holiday. It was
So-
and it
all
was
right. It was
you
something
know,
to that effect.
I do
Yeah.
remember that.
It did
One
a
of
little
Christmas
box office.
movies.
It was
That's not-
you know
One of them Christmas movies with Chris
No.
Brown be in it, something like that.
Yeah,
Who's-
singing.
he wasn't in that one, but
Who's
yeah.
watching a Monique comedy special?
Don't start, man.
This is what I'm saying.
Go
And
ahead.
it's nothing against Monique,
But
but you're not popular right now. So that kind of goes back to Big Daddy Kane and Jay-Z were pretty much out at the same time, kind of
Yeah.
sort of.
Yeah,
They're
only
about
one
the
year.
same age.
Yeah, they're only 1 year.
Kane tried to get Hov a deal when he was early.
Yeah.
If
When he first
Kane
came out.
was a senior in high school, Jay-Z was a junior.
Yeah.
That's how
Facts.
close they are in age.
Facts.
So Jay is out here popular. Big Daddy Kane is a pioneer, but he's not popular anymore, right?
Not in comparison.
So if he's going to go on tour,
Mhm.
he's not going to get anything compared to what Jay is going to get, right?
Right.
Okay.
So Amy Schumer is in movies and she's popular for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not really a fan of her comedy,
Nor am I.
but
They say she be stealing acts low key. That's what I heard.
I'm not surprised.
That's a cardinal
but
sin as a comedian.
She's out here.
Mhm.
Dave Chappelle, he's out here, of course. I mean, even when he goes away, people are waiting for him to come back.
Still out here.
That's not the case with Monique. And what Monique is failing to understand is she said that she has the most decorated resume of living comedians, which is terribly false. And the
I
reason
didn't
why
see that part.
You didn't see that?
No,
I didn't
she
hear
did-
that. That's
no,
stupid.
she said that several times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
More
So I
than-
missed that. That's
yeah.
stupid. Go ahead.
Very stupid because I think she feels a certain type of way because she won an Oscar for her role in Precious.
Are we gonna knock that?
I'm not knocking it, but I'm just saying.
As it relates to comedy, you like, all right.
Okay, there's
you won
another
for a
comedian
dramatic
named Whoopi Goldberg who did start out as a comedian who has a Grammy,
Yep.
an Oscar. Well, she
Okay.
has a Grammy for the Sister Act, the soundtrack.
Okay.
She has an Oscar for what? Color Purple?
No, that was for Ghost. She was
Ghost,
nominated.
okay, Ghost.
She was
She
nominated.
was
I believe,
dope in
for
Ghost,
Color
by the way.
Yeah, very. She also has many comedic awards as well. So if we're
Ghost
just
is
going
classic.
by women
Uh
being the most decorated,
huh.
you can't. Your resume is not up to even Whoopi Goldberg.
Even if you're
status.
talking about black women,
Yeah.
you're not there with Whoopi.
Go
Yeah.
ahead, Jay Moore.
So
Yeah. So I mean, it's hard because I understand where she's coming from, but at the same time, there's a common thread here, and I sometimes I want to say, is she being picked on or blackballed, or is she just difficult to work with? Because
she's kind of set herself up though.
a lot of people, they know the story about Lee Daniels and Oprah.
That's
and that whole
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They
But-
played her though. They played her.
No, but you got to understand. I don't know if you remember this. She used to have a late night show on BET.
Yeah. I remember.
It was good, and she would have guests on there that I wanted to see. One night she had Ghost and Raekwon on at Bell, like the people we wanted
New
to
Edition,
see.
yeah.
But then like
Yeah.
something happened behind the scenes. She said something to somebody.
Okay.
No more talk show. A lot of people don't remember this. At one point, she had a nationally syndicated radio show
Okay.
on Radio 1.
Yeah.
And then she had said something to somebody
Yep,
and
I
got
remember
somebody's
that.
face.
Okay.
And no more show. So while I don't want to take anything from her argument,
I'm sensing a theme here.
I'm seeing is like, wait a minute, at one point or another, you got to understand that it might be you.
It could be you.
It could be, because she said, well, I don't want to do this because what are they going to offer Tiffany Haddish? You're not even on that level right now.
Not right now.
Tiffany Haddish had a movie, it was $150 million. She just announced the Oscars this morning. She came to Indianapolis and had a second show.
2 sold out shows.
And so we're talking about, she's got like 2 or 3 movies on deck for 2018. Like if they gave Amy Schumer 13, they're going to have to give, and Tiffany just did a Showtime special. They're going to have to give Tiffany at least that because her resume, and she has a book out.
Yeah.
So the thing is, Tiffany Haddish, okay, she can say, I did Saturday Night Live. I was in a $150 million movie.
Yeah.
I got a book that's out.
Yep.
I just announced this at the Oscars. I did this. So if you don't, based on my actual work, if you don't offer me at least what Tiffany Haddish did, I can call that racism. Honestly, with Monique, the only thing I've really heard her do in the last few years is complain about her position in the industry on YouTube.
Right.
I haven't seen her, other than, and the thing is, I'm actually aware of the Christmas movie she did a couple years ago that did do numbers. But like as far as stand-up, I mean, because stand-ups, like for all the issues about rappers not coming to Indianapolis, stand-ups love to come here.
Yeah.
Facts.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Stand-ups
she hasn't been here.
Stand-ups can come get a bag in Indianapolis.
DL Hughley was just here.
Yeah.
And he now has the radio show that's broadcasted here.
Facts.
Tiffany Haddish
617.
came here, had add a second show. Dave Chappelle add a second show.
Right.
Mike Epps, I know he's from here, but people F with him because he's funny.
Yeah.
So
Mike Epps would be straight if he wasn't from that, if he came here. I think.
So I just, there's so many, there'd be more credence to her argument if they didn't just give Shonda Rhimes like $100 million.
Also, too, I heard that she possibly had gotten an offer before that was more than this.
Okay.
From Netflix. And the whole thing is, boycotting Netflix because you're not taking home the bag that you want.
Yeah.
Based on what you're not doing right now, not what you've done in the past. Nobody gets hired off of what you've done in the past.
So but I was I got an Oscar for Precious. Where's my $15 million? It's like, it doesn't work like that.
So we're speaking into relevancy, now.
It's gotta be relevant.
I mean, we love Louis Gossett Jr., but like he won an Oscar, and honestly, like no, I'm serious. Like, because the thing is, an Oscar really, unfortunately, for a black actor or actress, does not put you into the stratosphere. There are
Mike laughing at Fiddler.
I mean, right after Whoopi won her Oscar, I remember she did a movie with a dinosaur and like that never came out. Like it actually did come out on straight. She did a straight to video release. She was in Homie Spumoni on something else that went straight to video with Paul Mooney and the dude from Scrubs, the black dude from Scrubs.
She did Sister Act after that.
She did do Sister Act, but the thing is, like, Halle Berry won an Oscar. I mean, like, she's
make me feel good.
Man.
What movies has she really been in to where you were like? I mean, she was
really trash in that role.
She's
too,
constantly worked. And Denzel was going to be Denzel regardless.
Yeah,
and just think Lupita Nyong'o, like she's been an animated person in Star Wars. She's going to be in Black Panther, but that's in Africa. And not to knock that, but it's like, okay, where are her real leading roles? So it's just because you won an Oscar, that doesn't mean anything about box office, because like how many Oscars did the Avengers win? Yeah,
None.
Exactly. How many? All those movies that really pull in that money, none of those movies get in the Oscars.
You know what's crazy? I can admit that I paid more attention to the cumulative aspect, like the resume. I can admit that after hearing you guys, break it down from a relevancy standpoint. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But I think she also sprinkled in or tried to play the race card with it on top of, you know what I'm saying, with everything else. So Lone, I get it. Like, I see what they're saying, but do you think it's a reach for her to try to, you know what I'm saying, do the race card on top of all of this? Because they're making valid points. You know what I'm saying? But I personally didn't see the race card, because now I'm starting to see what you guys mean in terms of the resume. Like, do you have any feelings on it at all? Like, do you think she's just trying to play a card to get more bread, or... Because you were like, when's the last time, you asked me, like, when's the last time I saw a special? To that point, you're right.
I've never been a fan of Monique, so there's
fair enough. That's fair enough.
Her comedy work, I'll be honest, I've never thought Monique was funny. I thought she was, I think she's a great serious actress. Okay. I think she's actually a really good actress. I don't think, as a comedian, I think she's real one note. Sorry.
She was good at joning on people on Def Comedy Jam and stuff. But, I mean...
But as far as putting her up there with... I mean, but at the same time, let me temper this, because I think Amy Schumer is horrible.
I don't think she's funny either.
Yeah.
Like her last. So for the fact she got $13 million for that garbage that she put out, where they literally changed the rating systems on Netflix for, because it was so bad.
She's par on that one.
And plus, she steals Patrice O'Neal jokes, which I feel is really foul.
Jump in, man.
As far as the race card aspect, I don't know if I buy. Let me say this. I don't or don't not buy it.
Okay.
You know, like, could there be some sort of element there? I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know in this aspect. It's hard to gauge that in this aspect, because we're dealing with somebody who doesn't have a demand. You know, we think of supply.
You're not relevant, B.
You know, it's not like Dave Chappelle versus
Chris
Louis
Rock.
C.K.
Okay.
You know, minus Louis C.K.
stuff.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there was a point where Louis C.K. was
popping.
Facts. Facts.
So if they both came at it and they offered Dave Chappelle $100 million less, then I'd be like, well, yeah, or $50 million or $20 million, or actually, if Dave should be making more anyways. But this one just seems like, I don't know, $500,000 seems like a lot of money for what she's doing.
Where you're at the time, like, think about it. Dane Cook.
Yep.
Who's really familiar with this comedy or even enjoy it?
At one point Dane Cook was that guy, but like
he was selling out stadiums.
But if you offered Dane Cook the same money you gave Dave Chappelle right now, people would be like, "Oh yeah, that's messed up."
Exactly.
Right.
So
I follow you.
You're not relevant right now.
And Dane wasn't even funny.
He wasn't.
Yeah.
Like,
he wasn't funny at all. It's funny because I get him and Ryan Reynolds like mixed up from time to time.
Ryan Reynolds is funnier than Dane Cook.
He is,
and he's an actor.
And he's not even
a comedian.
Oh, he's an actor on top of that.
Yeah.
Well,
but
Ryan Reynolds isn't like a stand-up comic.
Yeah, he's just
he's just a funny guy.
Deadpool.
Yeah,
he's
Deadpool is
funny
anyway. But
well, I guess to put a bow on this whole thing, I think it's a wrap for trying to get people to do the Netflix boycott. That's not happening.
You're reaching at this point. It's like, how do you expect someone to want to pay you?
Yeah.
Anyway, and you want people to boycott their service. So you think you're that important that they're going to be like, okay, something's got to give. We got to go ahead and give her some money because people aren't watching Netflix. Nah.
Look, I'll be honest. I read this story and went right back and finished She's Gotta Have It. You know, and the thing is, it's just really. I know to put a bow on it. Like,
yes, sir.
But I'm like, if you're going to have these sort of negotiations, and you do this sort of thing behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get out and then you put their business on Front Street, and
how
nobody
about just
likes
negotiating.
That. And if you thought $500,000 is too low, see what HBO wants, see what Showtime wants.
Exactly,
you know
shop
what I'm saying?
yourself.
And
exactly.
Then you can then maybe go back in and present your resume. Now, the part of the story I thought was foul was when I found out Wanda Sykes was offered half of that $500,000. And the thing is, Wanda Sykes is on Blackish.
Yep.
I've seen her last couple of specials, and they were good. And so I'm like, how are you? Like, that's where I was insulted. Like, as far as offering Monique $500,000, I think you were overpaying for Monique. You offer Wanda Sykes $500,000. I think you are insulting black female comedians. But that's just me.
Well, we'll be able to monitor it and see what happens. I'm curious, but
I wonder what Chris Tucker got, because he got a special on Netflix.
I never watched that. Was it any good?
I turned it off.
I didn't finish it.
I turned it off.
From what I was watching, it wasn't bad.
I mean, it is what it is. I know he got a bigger bag than.
But obviously, he was cool with his bag.
Yeah, he was cool.
Look, he had to pay off that IRS
you gotta
tab.
get the taxes.
So,
yeah, you got to get them taxes.
And at the same time, you got to realize you're talking to regular people who get up and go to work every day or looking for jobs. And you talk about how you turned down $500,000 for maybe
an hour's
worth of work.
Shit.
Like, I'm sorry, you're not going to get a lot of sympathy over here.
Nah.
Well,
that's my whole thing.
We'll
you
see.
can't be crying over $500,000.
She's. I don't see it working, bro.
That's
Bottom line, I don't see it working.
That 𝗏𝗏 𝗡𝗲 shit.
I got kids to feed.
Yeah,
$13 million. You don't want to offer me 13? Get out of here.
Get out of here.
I want to jump into this though because we all experienced this, so I don't want to miss this. I want to get this just due for the time. Let's talk about the Jazz Kitchen experience we had at the show with Pharoahe Monch. Because shout out to DJ Boogie Blind as well, executioners. We had a chance to actually to obviously interview him, and got a chance to kick it with him as well as DJ Boogie Blind, and I really had a good time. Shout out to Doug and also, I really had a good time at this event. We do our backstage series where we get a chance to interview artists and get a chance to pull them away from the norm and try to sit down and talk to them, pick their brains, just try to ask creative questions when we can. And it was dope to be able to pick what I call a hip hop legend's mind in terms of how he goes about his writing process, how he stays inspired, little things like that. And I just thought it was a really, really dope experience that we all got a chance to be a part of. DJ Spoolz was there. He interviewed Boogie Blind as well. Solid turnout. I actually thought it was a dope turnout. At Jazz Kitchen, the crowd was interactive. Everybody was enthused. I saw everybody out, just having a good time. It was a good vibe for hip hop. Pharoahe Monch spent time with us. He signed wax. You know what I'm saying? There was no Hollywood shit. Like, he was very gracious with his time, and I really, really appreciate that because it was just one of our best, overall backstage experiences. Would you say?
I think it's par with everything that we've done.
Yeah.
I don't think it was better or worse than any of the other ones that we've done.
Okay, that's fair.
But I thought it was cool. I don't have anything extra really to say on this, but
it was dope.
But it was a dope event. It was good to be able to talk to him and chalk it up and.
Well, I think one of the things that when you're talking about a live performer, especially when you're talking about the genre of hip hop, a lot of times what makes people enjoy hip hop shows is they know the words to every song, or it's something they've heard on the radio or on TV over and over again.
Yeah.
Right? And so the test of a real performer is, can you have people enjoy themselves when they may not know every song that you're about to get on stage and do?
Facts.
And that's one of the things that sets Pharoahe Monch, I feel like, Common.
Yep.
There are other people, but I feel like that's what sets them apart from a lot of other hip hop artists, because there are other shows I've gone to. If I didn't know the records, I'd be bored.
Yeah.
But because
it's easy to get bored.
But because Pharoahe Monch is one of those artists that actually knows how to put on a show and is not rapping over his own vocals.
Yep.
Gonna put that out there.
I hate that, by the way.
He's one of those people where I'm like, look, if someone said, oh man, should I go see this Pharoahe Monch show? I was like, do you like hip hop? It's like, yeah. I'm not really familiar with his work. Doesn't matter. Go see the show.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
So I mean, and like I said, you almost never want to meet artists that you really like sometimes, because you're like, oh man, this guy might be a real asshole.
I'm always scared of that, though.
Yeah,
it always
but we've been lucky so far, I guess. Is what I was getting at. Everybody that we've met with and talked with has been cool, down to earth.
Yes.
And Pharoahe was up there as well. Boogie as well. He was hilarious.
Yeah.
Shout out to Boogie Blind. He was like, he really, we kicked it like we had known each other for a while.
Man, we talked about everything from a rapper that was serving plates out of his crib. We talked about shoes. We talked about Harlem. We talked about Mace. We talked about everything. Like, he was really cool. We kicked it pretty much all night up into their performance. So, yeah, shout out to Boogie Blind, man, who I was actually amazed with as well, with his skill set on the turntables.
Oh,
because,
crazy.
He's an executioner, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's dope, but it's dope to see it live. Like, it's like to see somebody actually be that nice on the turntables. And I was just sitting there looking at metronome. I kept tapping metronome like, this is crazy. You know,
And he came by the school.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he came by
shout out to
Academics.
Academics, yeah.
Yeah, so
I see there was a video of he and Top Speed
him and
getting
Speed were
down.
going back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah, so that overall was a really, really dope experience. You know, like I said, those brothers were gracious with their time and
Absolutely.
no Hollywood shit, man. Like that's the beauty of it. Like to Lone's point, we haven't run into that yet.
Yeah, so if you have a chance, if you're listening to this and you see Pharoahe Monch on a flyer,
Might want to go.
yeah, make it a point to go, man, because it's not, you know, because sometimes people forget how much they're into an artist. Like I'll never forget, it was several years ago. It's maybe when I first moved here.
Yeah.
Like I told my roommate at the time, DJ Rec One, shout out to DJ Rec One. I was like, yeah, man, it was Sunday night. I'm going to the Vogue to see Diggable Planets. He was like, Diggable Planets? Like, you know, it just didn't register to him at the time. And then, like, when I got back, he was like, I should have went to that show.
Hey, it would have registered with me.
Yeah, so got to meet Ladybug.
Oh, my Lord.
right.
Ladybug, we love you. We appreciate you.
Hands are real soft. It's
Yes,
real nice.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Shout out
sir.
to Ladybug.
Like Ladybug.
I'm sorry,
man.
I went to my quiet storm voice when I started talking about Ladybug.
You also went to your conditioning, sir.
Well, I
because we
see
know what,
that she just happens to be a very, very esteemed and talented lyricist. So let's not get on that.
Yeah, man. Shout out. Yeah, she's dope though, all around dope. So yeah, man, that was a dope experience. So, you know, again, shout out to Doug and also that was a good look. We had a great time.
And bringing down the band.
And bringing down
Bring down the band,
you know,
certainly.
Obviously, you got to shout out bringing down the band. That goes without saying. Shout out to bringingdowntheband.com and that Patreon site as well. But you heard that. You know what to do on that.
Well, there was other shows going on the weekend. Do we want to talk about those now too?
We could do that.
You know, I mean, Sirius had his going away farewell show.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir.
Which was real dope.
I heard the turnout
Sold
was
it
dope
out.
for that. Yeah.
Sold it out. Sold out the Hi-Fi.
Nice.
There it is.
Yeah.
It was a really cool event, man. It was cool to see everybody celebrate Nick.
That's
Sirius.
That's got to feel good. Yeah. That's got to feel good.
I felt I had a very good feeling sitting in the crowd watching and just seeing everybody come to support him because he's somebody that deserves it. And
Right.
he's crazy talented.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy talented. So, yeah, Flacco had a really dope set. I got there with the band right before him, and they were actually good too. I don't remember their name.
You don't know the name? Okay.
Yeah. And then shouts to KC, man. It's the first time I got to see his band, but they went on right before Sirius.
Kiddo.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. They tore it down.
It
it
was
like
for
heavy.
real mosh pit.
What's
It was
I was
like-
going to ask
it
you
was
what the
a mosh
vibe
pit.
was. Yeah.
Nah,
It was heavy. It was
It
heavy.
was like punk rock-esque.
Hard guitars, all that type of stuff.
Fast.
Yeah.
Scream
Yeah.
joints. It was, but they set it off. It was
The crowd was into it.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
first time I got to
There
see
was a
KC do
mosh
his thing.
pit.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, for
That's
real.
dope. That's
Shouts
dope.
to Ace because he was in it.
Okay.
Shout out to
Of
Ace,
course,
yeah.
Ace. Ace is in
And
every.
he
He
lost
said
him
he set it off.
Yeah,
he
Ace
lost
is
a
in every.
medallion on his hat
Yeah,
too.
he's in every
Damn.
group in Indianapolis.
Hey, he
Shout out
is.
to
Every
Ace,
time I
man.
see Ace one, I was like, man, Ace, don't join any more rap groups. Man. So
That's what's up, man.
yeah,
You
shout
said
to all the Ghost Gunners, man. Shout out
Yeah,
to them.
it
Man.
was a
We
really
talk
good
about
show.
Ace. Ace was on one of the original Ghost Gun tours.
Word,
so
word.
there's that as well. But
were there any other local shows other than that happened? I probably missed it.
there were a handful of things that happened. I mean, we talked about last
Project
week.
Pat was in town.
Project
Yeah,
Pat.
Oh,
yeah.
shout out to my homie Pac. Yeah,
Yeah.
he opened for Project Pat. I did not see. I haven't talked to him yet, but from what I understand, it was a pretty nice turnout. I think everything went well. No foolishness. Good
Project
vibe.
Pata. Had to do that. Man. The Spools would have done that if he was here,
Shout
so I
out
had
to
to do
Ooh
that.
Nothing. Ooh Nothing is. You know, Ooh
I
Nothing
celebrate
is-
Project Pat's entire catalog.
I ain't even like I wasn't
Shit.
in the 666 Project
Nah,
Pat
hey,
like that.
Project
I wasn't.
Pat, that Getty Green.
No, I remember.
Nah, but Ooh Nothing though is.
No, back in the day, Project Pat came to St. Louis with LaChat. Remember
Wow.
LaChat? Yeah. They did, yeah, man.
Shout out to LaChat. That's a LaChat reference. We see you. We see you. We see
You know what? I'll tell you
Was
about
that the chicken
offline.
head joint?
Yeah, I'll tell you something about LaChat offline. I'm just,
Boy, please, whatever.
Exactly.
Yes, sir. So speaking of Pat, you know what I'm saying, being in town, Jay Diff brought up a very interesting question. I want to squeeze this one in as well because he makes a damn good point. Why are there so many, what we would call dope tours, cold tours? You think about, I give you a prime example, Big Crit and Sci-Hi, right? Just an example of a tour. Why is it that the city of Indianapolis seems to always get skipped over on the cold tours? Why do you guys? I can't put my hand on it. Maybe there's not that big of I don't know.
Me personally,
underground hip hop. I don't know what the presence is here in that.
One, it's not underground.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing. I don't know what. We don't have the presence. Period. Skip the word underground.
Nah, I don't think it has anything to do with that. It has a lot to do with scheduling and the people that are doing the scheduling and the powers that be here.
Okay.
That are bringing people for you to see.
All right.
That's how I feel about it. I mean, you have a lot of these big names that go on tours, and if they're the people that are in those networks, they're hearing about that beforehand. That's how they book those shows.
Okay.
I do think indie waits to the last minute to buy tickets a lot of times.
Yeah, we're very similar to St. Louis. Is we're a big walk up town.
Mm-hmm.
Like even I'll just keep it real. For the Pharoahe Monch, the pre-sales really weren't that great, but the walk up
crazy.
Yeah. So it's like because there were a couple.
Well, it was still decent though.
Yeah,
I thought it was solid. Like it was.
But even when we take it out of that realm, there are acts where this will be the only city where they decide to go ahead and cancel. Like when it was, to take it to another level, the 𝐀𝐿 and 𝐷𝐿 tour. Like, just on that nostalgia tip, like those tours do well. We're the only city where, because of the lack of pre-sales, they decided to cancel.
Yeah.
Cameron was supposed to be here.
He canceled.
So I think
he might have canceled because of the venue, but
I believe that is part of it.
Perhaps.
But I know for a fact it was the whole pre-sale thing with 𝐀𝐿 and 𝐷𝐿. Now, not saying that not comparing them to 𝐊𝐻 and Crit, but it's also about there's got to be promoters here that take care of that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
But when people do come here, like I saw Jay-Z here during the Blueprint 3 tour. This place was sold out.
Yeah, crazy.
It was crazy.
Kanye came here.
He
started his tour off
here. Yeah.
But then, like when I wanted to go see the Magna Carta Holy Grail tour, I had to go to Chicago, see it at the United Center because it didn't come here. 444 tour didn't come here. The Beyonce and Jay-Z tour didn't come here.
Right.
The Bad Boy tour didn't come here. But it went to Cincinnati. It'll go to Columbus.
Yeah.
Go to Columbus. But they won't come to Indianapolis.
Exactly.
But so I think there are a bunch of factors, but like it's getting to be a pretty consistent thing. But I think there's also like it's a weird triangle of St. Louis, Chicago, Cincinnati, and it's almost like we're blacked out.
Or like anywhere in Ohio. It's like they hit all around.
They'll go to
us.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
But they won't go to Indianapolis.
Right. It's I don't think it has much to do with the artist per se. I mean, I saw a thread. Somebody was saying that Kendrick or the TDE, because they just announced the TDE tour where all of them are going on tour together.
Yeah.
Was saying that they're not coming here because Schoolboy Q's show wasn't the turnout.
It didn't pop.
Yeah. I was at that show.
You don't know what you're talking about.
And that's not true. He said something like they barely sold any tickets or something like that.
But that's still not the case.
Yes,
either way.
it has nothing
Kendrick and
to do
SZA
with
are
it.
also on that tour. So
yeah,
whatever.
SZA came here at the end of last year or the beginning of this year, and she sold it out.
Yeah, I understand. Hers went well. One of my coworkers
So
went.
you can't. People on the outside looking in always have what they think is the answer as to why things aren't happening and not these tours aren't coming here.
Right.
A lot of it has to do with the promoters that are picking up the shows. And you made a point as far as M80 is concerned in Holy Toledo.
Yeah.
He had a lot of shows circled through that he was putting on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there has to be somebody that is interested in taking on those shows as well. The artists themselves are not booking these shows.
Right. It's got to be a contact with Live Nation. Live Nation, that's a big part of it.
Which is what M80 was doing.
Yeah.
And still does.
Yeah.
So you can't sit here and just be like, oh, TDE doesn't want to come here. They going wherever the bag is.
They going wherever
But
the
they're
bag
starting a
is.
tour in Vancouver.
Yeah.
So like if someone tried to say, oh, it's because, it's too many country fans. They tried to make it a race thing. I was like, first of all,
no, I ain't got nothing
first
to do
of all,
with
when
that.
you go to hip hop concerts, if you are still under the impression that it's all black people there, then you have no
never been to
concept
one.
of what the culture is at this point. And if they can start now, mind you, I've never been to Vancouver. I don't know the makeup of the city.
Nor do I.
But if you can start a hip hop concert in Vancouver, then I'm pretty sure you could get something popping in Indianapolis.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, Kanye started his here.
He started his here and sold out. And the thing is, when concerts do come here, people, it shuts the city down.
Yeah.
People go all out. They get their outfits together.
Especially if it's a major one like that.
You know
like
what I'm saying? They get babysitters. They take they PTO. They're not messing around. So, I mean.
The schoolboy.
So to put those are all excuses. All excuses.
TDE has been here. They were at is it White River?
Yeah.
I went to that
Kendrick
show as
was
well.
Here. He's been here.
Yeah.
But off him alone is like you have to think.
But Kendrick's been here even before that. Even.
Right.
And we covered that show.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like,
to me, if it's TDE, the first thing people are gonna think, man, K-Dot coming. Like, period.
Mm-hmm.
You could because honestly, they're good for not just calling it the Kendrick Lamar tour because that'll bring just as much as the
exactly
the victory. Well, not the victory tour. That was Michael Jackson. Whatever the name of the tour is.
Right.
But yeah, so
now,
I hear nothing but excuses.
Now, at the same time, I do think in our city there's a difference between a major headlining tour such as a TDE tour and a Kanye West tour and a Jay-Z tour as opposed to a Pharoahe Monch show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or
completely different.
as opposed to 𝗀𝐿 or somebody that maybe the hip-hop heads want to see.
Yep.
I mean, we went and the turnout was pretty good for the Pharoahe Monch show.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But don't think that money was made on that show.
Right.
No.
Because the thing about our market is we don't have a major market in that aspect.
It's fickle.
And so
Very.
Mm-hmm.
the artists a lot of times will still ask for
whatever they're going to get in Chicago or Cincinnati.
Or you have to
or
be able to
St. Louis.
negotiate that down. So if an artist like Pharoahe Monch wants $2,000, well, you have to sell X amount of tickets to make that, plus travel, plus hotels and food and transportation and promotion for that project. So you're looking at like $3,000 probably.
And that's just a random number. Let's not have anybody.
Oh,
trying
yeah.
in his pockets.
Don't have nobody
that's
trying to count
Just
Pharoah's money
hypothetical.
based on what our
That's not
That's
conversation
not what it
is.
was.
We're
exactly.
just as an example.
So, but if that's the case, then, so that means you got to sell X amount of tickets at X amount of price and X amount of people have to come to it.
Right.
And then is the promoter making any money for doing that? For putting all the time into it? So.
Because at the end of the day, anyone who promotes a show is not just doing it for the culture. They're doing it because they think it's going to be of some sort of financial benefit to them.
It has to be beneficial across the board.
Yeah.
It has to be beneficial.
We at Bringing Down the Band have done plenty of for the culture shows.
Yep.
And we like to assist anymore because
have to gracefully bow out.
It's the unless we're going to follow it up with the show the next day that's going to make all the money back that we're going to lose when we bring said artist in town.
Facts.
It's just kind of what it is. It's a hard market here unless you're really up high there. So
yeah, and these major artists, I mean, they don't care where they go. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody is sitting at home right now. Oh, I'm not messing with Indy. They're going wherever somebody's going to pay them.
Yeah,
Correct.
it's where the bag is.
It's not about where you're going, and that kind of kills me about people here too, and just I don't know, people in general. Everybody always wants to kind of downplay where they're at or where they're from, being from here. And complain about there's nothing to do, but when there is stuff to do, you don't come out to those particular events until maybe you've seen another city or somebody else do the same thing, and then you decide you want to come out and participate in it.
There are a lot of it's a followers culture. It's like, okay, I want to sit and wait. Let me wait and see what's popping first. Let me wait and see. Then I'm going to get hype, and then I'm going to. It's not a trendsetter area. Like, it's not just we're going to do this. We're going to blaze this trail. We don't give a fuck what nobody says. We're just going to be this. This is Indianapolis, and we're going to do it. It's not like that here. Everything is based off what everybody else is doing.
And if people are even hip to it, it's almost like people are scared to almost voice that.
Right.
Or to, invite other people into the fold. You just wait until somebody else says it. I've never understood that.
I've never understood that. Yeah. I've never understood that. So, it's just one of those things where I think the market it's interesting.
There's so many factors that are involved, and it's
multiple.
You know, I just think that some of the things that people say, they're just so far off base, and you know, I understand where they may, you know, because there's somebody, you know, because there was an article in the Indy Star about why we get skipped over, and someone said try to bring up, you know, somebody having a fight at a concert in like 1992. I was like, you missed the point. So
you missed the whole point.
I replied to somebody on Twitter that replied to Rusty. Shouts to Rusty.
Yeah, shout out to Rusty. He shut all that down.
And he was just there was like, all the violence and hip hop and the music and all that. And I was like, first off, I just said I did my thing. I said it and walked away. It was just speak on what you know.
Boy, if that ain't a tip right there.
You know,
I mean, if you really aren't a part of the culture and you don't know what you're talking about, then shut the fuck up.
He preaching right now.
Yeah. So if you, you know, because I've been to dozens of concerts and nothing happened. Mm-hmm. You know, here and in St. Louis, and I just remember when Guns N' Roses came to Riverport Amphitheater. It's not even that. It's probably like Verizon, because it's probably Verizon in every city now.
Right.
They basically destroyed the place. Like Axl Rose got in his bag and he decided he didn't want to perform. Yeah. Somebody had thrown something and walked off after 2 songs. And the Guns N' Roses, fans basically destroyed an entire amphitheater. But that's considered a rock and roll moment.
Yeah, it's
that's like,
it's a part of the
man,
event.
yeah, that's
it might happen
that was
rock
so
and
rock and roll.
Yeah.
But you know,
but hip hop events are thugs.
Then it's like, oh man, we need to have we need to have a moratorium on having any rap concerts ever again if one incident happens. So
that's an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, that could go.
Especially when we get into sports. And rioting at sports.
Oh yeah. Did you see
in Philly?
The people of Philadelphia
setting shit on fire
in the middle of the street, and it's just like, that's sports
They're
fans.
having
Philadelphia is going to the Super Bowl. That's just, oh man, look at that. I mean, aren't they enthusiastic?
That's supposed to be expected, you know.
Sure, sure. It's just enthusiastic and ecstatic fans just celebrating their team going to the Super Bowl.
Sometimes there's just going to be some collateral damage, you know.
Perhaps, but we'll look past that because they're going to the Super Bowl. Yeah. Like that's how it's portrayed. So, and like you said, we could really go down that road. That's a that's a good call. Actually,
yeah.
But
that happens more often than not. But.
Facts.
Look at any city that wins an NHL Stanley Cup.
Hey.
Especially in Canada.
It get crazy,
it gets real.
Huh?
Oh, Vancouver Canucks, when they lost a few years ago. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm not even going to get into it, but you want to talk about.
I can only imagine.
Thugs.
We got about 10 minutes.
About 10 minutes left.
Okay.
Let's see. Well, we can do this one quickly because this is some foolishness as well. Kodak Black he goes back to jail, stunting on the gram. He had them things out. You know what I'm saying? He had some of that product out.
Oh, yeah. What kind of product did he have?
Well, I didn't read it in terms of what type. I can take a guess.
They were those flamers, if you will.
He might have some of those flamers out. We're not talking about flaming hots.
For those of you who are not from the culture, that is,
he's definitely
those
on probation.
Are firearms.
Yeah, he had them things. Yeah.
And if you are a felon, which Kodak Black is, you cannot have firearms in your possession
or be around them
or be anywhere around firearms. And one of them, the charges was child endangerment. There's some kids around. I don't know.
Here's the part where people always try to fight me on this, and I really could care less. I have no sympathy for an idiot. I'm sorry. Y'all can call me what you want. I'm not uplifting the black man. Fuck all that. I have no sympathy for an idiot. If you are on probation or if you are on anything that states you are not supposed to be around or do said whatever, you shouldn't be on Instagram, nor the people that are around you. They shouldn't let you do stupid stuff that will incriminate yourself.
Was he showing off their stuff?
I don't
like what was going on. Or
this
his
is
stuff?
the thing.
My thing is, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
why
exactly.
are you around that?
I want to know what happened because I know.
Oh, they was live on. They was either
live.
Instagram or Facebook Live, and they had things that were not supposed to be out if you are on probation or a felon. And if no one knows this by now, law enforcement loves to look at social media.
Oh yeah,
all
day.
night long,
because it's like, oh, this is social media has made law enforcement's jobs so much easier.
Oh, very easy.
Like,
because people are telling on themselves.
People will be at the club with bottles and flashing money, and like there are people they picked them up on because okay, you got all those bottles and you're having a good time at the club. You're behind on your child support. Man. So look,
here's
come with me.
Here's the catch though, Jay Diff. They raided the crib live. He was still live.
And
they came into the crib. But they'll tell me, why you trying to down him? I'm not trying to down him. That's a dumb decision.
Man.
No? Is that not a dumb decision?
Yeah, it's definitely a dumb decision that he has to live with.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we got to stop vouching for people that do stupid stuff, man.
Look, don't make it easy for these folks to get a warrant.
Exactly. And the thing about Kodak Black, here's the part that's the worst part. Like, if you look at his story where he's from, you know what I'm saying? Like, the kid defied the odds in terms of him coming out the hood.
Carroll City.
And rapping Carroll City. Y'all know what it is down there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he defied the odds to be able to come out and become a rapper. I don't have to agree with the music, whatever, but I'm not stupid enough to know, to not realize. He defied the odds. You made bread, got your family out the hood, all that, but you choose to go back to and continue to do the things that you did. I don't understand that. I'll never understand that.
I mean, he's young and dumb and has money. He's got money and he's young. For one, because how old is Kodak? Like 21?
Might be 20. Maybe 21.
He might be 20.
So is that what we're gonna use?
No.
21. I'm not giving him a.
He's stupid. I see what you did. He's stupid.
I'm not giving him a pass because he's young, but he's been in so much trouble in this short amount of time that we've known about him as far as his career and whatnot.
That's a fact.
There has to come a time where you realize that you need to kind of figure out another plan.
Is that?
I mean, because you're there.
You're there. Like
you've made it.
He did it. Yeah, he defied the odds.
Yeah.
He did it.
Does he realize that?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
that's a good question. Does he realize that he defied the odds and that he beat the system and he's there?
But I think part of the fact is he feels like I defied the odds. Like, what can happen to me now? Like, whatever happens to me now can't be any worse than where I came from.
Okay.
So, now I got a lawyer that, I get 5 charges. Now I can get out.
Yeah. Okay. I never thought about that way. It's just, I don't know, man. It's the OG thing. Do you watch the people that are around you? Do you You're
paying the people who are around you. So really,
do they have your best interest when they're on the payroll?
No.
Okay.
We've seen that over and over.
Showed you that.
He did.
I mean, he wasn't even doing nothing criminal. It was just that, like, when people are around you, they'll be like, oh, yeah, that was dope. Yeah, let's go ahead and have some guns in the whatever. I'm not going to say anything that's going to get me kicked out of the circle.
I'm still getting that check.
But at the same time, when Big Dog go down, we all go down.
Lone, jump in. I know you wanted to jump in.
Nah, I got nothing else now. I mean, this conversation could continue for a while.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not going to add anything right now.
Well,
I mean,
go ahead. I mean, it's on you. Anything.
Well, he is a kid.
He is.
He is a kid, and you say he did defy the odds.
He did, man. He beat it.
So there's everything that's involved with defying the odds.
Okay.
They're watching his Instagram. Why are they watching his Instagram?
Okay.
Are they watching another kid that's his age that is an entrepreneur in a different manner, that's successful in a different way? Are they watching his Instagram the same way? They're not.
Well, because they can make a name like that.
You know what I mean? Like
these prosecutors.
Granted,
that's fair.
Are
that's
just as.
And granted, it's popular culture, and but still, like,
you got to be aware of that though. In that position,
you do. There's nothing. That's why I agree with you, but you can't forget about the other aspects too.
To your point, I agree with that. Like I'm with you on that. It's just, I guess there's a gray area. There's a fine line in terms of to what Lone said versus what.
I just don't want that to get lost in it. That's all.
Yeah, I agree with you. No, I agree with you 100%.
But at the same time,
you got to be smarter. Than
if you saw what the system did to Meek Mill.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
I would not. I would tell a lot of these rappers, I was like, you need to get off of Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, anything. You know, if you know what you're doing, and you know what you're doing, might be a little suspect. Even if you think you're just having a little bit of fun, don't record any of that. Take everybody's phone. Nobody can get you caught up because that's the thing. There's phones and cameras everywhere. They can pull footage, and all this stuff is admissible in court. And so you have to, because that's what got McMill caught up. Somebody videotaped him popping a wheelie. Somebody videotaped him fight in the airport in St. Louis, even though he was breaking up the fight. That was still enough to say, hey, what are you doing around this situation? You got to understand, there are a lot of times these prosecutors, these people who work in these offices, they want to make a name for themselves too.
True.
And if you can say, I locked up Kodak Black. I locked up Meek Mill. I locked up so-and-so. Like, you know, you got to understand that you realize in L.A., Gil Garcetti, the reason he wasn't reelected to his is because he lost the O.J. Simpson case and the Snoop Dogg case basically within like 12 months. And so he was out of public office because it's like those high-profile cases, you got to get those people.
Hip-hop cops, man. Like
so you got to understand, they're as obsessed with celebrity as anybody else.
There's a whole police force on hip-hop.
Yeah. Specifically, just everything. Yeah. So, you know, it's just unfortunate, man, but you just hate to see somebody that's that young that actually got a chance to make it and get out. You know, either revert back to what they did prior to or just...
And right when his new single is bubbling in the clubs.
He's popping like the kids' streams.
So it's like, okay, now you can't travel. Now you can't get that money.
And he's killing them on the streaming and everything. Like, he's
why you got
popular.
Jesus piece?
You don't even believe in Jesus.
So, but yeah, man, we'll, you know, hopefully he gets right, and I hope maybe it's a learning experience. We can look at it that way. Is there anything else I'm missing as we get ready to wrap up? Are you anywhere?
Let me go ahead and plug everywhere I'm going to be.
Run it down.
Of course, Take That Tuesdays. It's every Tuesdays at Coach's Tavern.
Okay.
Let's see, Thursdays, I'm going to be at Tiki Bob's with DJ Lemmy Vice and DJ Gabby Love this week. The Versus Party, that's going to be popping at Epic Ultra Lounge in Castleton. And, of course, Saturday night, I'm going to be at the Casbah with my man DJ Obi-Wan.
Cool. Right on. We got anything long?
DJ Zero is Thursday night as well.
Semifinals.
Yeah.
The last round.
DJ Impromptu and
shout out to my man TC. He's in the semifinals.
Yes. So they're going to.
Or is this the finals?
Semifinals.
Impromptu's been in the school putting that work in.
She been out academics?
Yeah, she's been there. When I go in the afternoon, she's in there getting her practice on.
DJ Impromptu. She was
also
cold
got
with a woman set.
Hip-hop night on Thursday as well.
Okay.
At Square Cat Vinyl.
Okay.
I'll be DJing that with Sunny Paradise. The lineup features Mariah Ivy.
Okay.
Jetty is on that as well.
Okay.
As well as a host of other people. I can't think of their names right now, but
word.
Yeah.
If you check out Bringing Down the Band's event page on our Facebook page, you'll see that event pop up.
So the culture is strong in the city. Don't let nobody tell you any different.
Yes, sir. Lonegevity, DJ Jay Diff and Jay Moore. I am Major 7th. That is going to wrap up episode 65. As you heard at the beginning of our show, don't forget to go to our Patreon site. We are very, very, very enthusiastic about this. We got plenty of great things planned for the future. Shout out to our new people that signed up as well. And we will catch you guys next week. Peace.
Yeah. And sign up for our YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe.
Yes, we need more subscribers for that as well.
So if you watch every week on YouTube, subscribe.
Otherwise, they're going to kick us off the monetized program. So do that.
Definitely.
Peace.